Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. And we're on Vlogmas Day 3. 3. And what have I got for you today? Well, I have Thrice's Illusion of Safety. Now, this particular CD has a crack in it, but the CD doesn't. Even though I've listened through this countless times over the years, it even has the price on there. Bought this from Virgin many years ago. 14.99, 15 quid for this CD it was at the time. That was quite a bit. And the inside there with the CD and everything. Oh, out comes the insert. The insert was such a great record. Was the first time that I'd heard the genre of punk and metal brought together under like blistering like punk rock songs. If Maiden had gone punk rock essentially with incredible melodic vocals, just an incredible band on record and live, and they have progressed non-stop throughout their careers, always pushing themselves on each new release. With the Alchemy release, with the VSU release, if I'm saying that right, Major Minor, and I'm sure there's been another one. Was a big fan of that Illusion of Safety, Artist in the Ambulance period, and everything post. But yeah, I just loved the punk metal vibe because it was a real indicator to me of meshing styles when I was growing up playing in bands, and that you could have shouted vocals and melodic vocals together, and that you could create really kick-ass songs with a band. And yeah, I just loved the way that the artwork came through, you know, how it's like layered graphic art stuff. I just blew me away. And what they did with this record and a lot of their records is that they give a portion of the profit towards charities, which was incredible. That the album always got me hyped when I used to have it on in the car. We used to watch this channel called P-Rock on Sky, and it would feature various punk rock bands from the UK, US, etc. And they featured Deadbolt on one of their playlists, and I just bought into the style, the whole scene of it, and the whole sound was just so exciting and fresh to me. I think it was MySpace days, maybe something like that. I can't remember, but it was mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing to hear a record like that. And many years later, I had the opportunity to meet them, fanboying outside of their shows, and they were just incredibly humble and just inquisitive people. They were saying that the architecture and history of the Manchester area in the UK, they'd never experienced anything like it coming from where they had, because they said a lot of where they were from in the US was relatively new in comparison in terms of history. There weren't Gothic architectural cathedrals and buildings necessarily, so it was cool to talk to them and just to say hello to them and whatnot. Yeah. Massive influence on me growing up, that record as well. I implore you, if you like heavy rock music, a mixture of punk and metal, like Maiden with punk rock beats, I recommend you check it out. And also my Christmas song recommendation of the day, I've started to compile a list of these, by the way, is The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole, and that's 1961. 61, yeah. And that really puts you in a lovely Christmas spirit. So if you get the chance, check that out as well. Not too much going on today. been supporting a little bit. I think I'm starting to come down with a head cold, so just going through the process with that, all the lemsips. Yeah, I also went to the RAF base today just to watch some of the planes for a little bit. I'll tack it on to the end of this video. It was cool. It's cool to see the fighter jets and stuff like that. I'm going to consider this like a part 1 of a part 2 type of thing, because I know I've spoken about Thrice, but there's also another band that went hand in hand with them at the time, and I will reveal that tomorrow for you, or the next video, sorry, I should say. So I'm not going to waffle on too long, just to say thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you're doing as okay as possible. I appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video. Consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and the important people in your life. Bye-bye. So I'm essentially following on from the last video straight away, because I spoke about Thrice, and what goes hand in hand with Thrice is, of course, Thursday. Oh, this band had a big influence on me. This record's called Full Collapse, and it's the one that really stood out for me. All their music has been fantastic over the years. I've bought every single one of their records, but this one is where it all began. Full Collapse, stories of angst, of heartbreak, of low feelings, making sense of a world that you live in that's so absurd. Opens with like a full band instrumental intro before it cuts into understanding in the car crash, about him losing loved ones in a car crash. Totally relate to that. I think many young people have been there. Yeah, love this record. Love the design of this record. You can have that there, or you can have that. You swap them around, you know. Super minimal looking, and that was the singer Jeff Rickley who wrote Thanks for Listening, Jeff, on it. I met them all, did the same thing as I did with Thrice, where I hung out and waited to shake all their hands and to say how important they were to me in my life at that time. And yeah, there's the CD as well. There's a super minimal style. I liked all these little bits of logos and stuff that you can just about see in there. It was really cool. It kind of influenced our our hardcore records later on in our lives, between me and my guitarist at the time. 2001 this record came out. Unbelievable, just blew me away. It was recommended to listen to it by my friend Barry at the time, who I was jamming with. We were like jamming Chili Pepper songs. He was an incredible guitarist and a singer, and I would play bass and stuff like that. And when I heard this record, I heard like people who couldn't sing properly but made it work, and people who would scream vocals, and it wouldn't even matter if you could sing properly or scream properly, is that the feeling and the heart was there, and that translated throughout the whole thing. It sounds maybe a little bit dated these days, I guess, you know, production wise, but it still is as important as ever. A record, I don't know, I guess that's me being super critical, because I'm a huge fan of Thursday and always have been. Not all the bands that came out of that emo genre, mind. I wouldn't have considered myself a scene kid. I would have considered myself more of a punker, maybe a punk guy, a skate punk guy, more than anything else at the time, because I loved skateboarding and I loved hanging out. But I never really got into the emo scene as such. Never got into eyeliner or bullet belts or things of that nature. There are a select few that I enjoyed, and Thursday and Thrice were definitely those two bands. I could never. I know I'm going to get crucified for saying this now, but I could never really get into Coheed and Cambria. Really played with them a bunch of times at festivals. Met them around the same time we were watching Thrice and Thursday, and Claudio and the guys were really nice people and just awesome musicians, awesome band. But the songs didn't really speak to me as such. But lots of love and respect to the band, because obviously they're amazing at what they do. It speaks for itself. But yeah, going off the subject, Thursday, awesome, so awesome, and I believe they're still playing shows to this day. Tucker Rule, an incredible drummer on the record. Just the whole band together sound amazing, and I love their music. I loved every single piece that they've released. I don't think there's ever been a bad song, or All the Time as a record is another notable record. But this one, give it a listen. It's a journey and a half. Thank you for making this record, Thursday. This changed the way I thought about music quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling on. Thank you so much for stopping by in these 1 to 2 part videos. And my musical Christmas recommendation of the day comes from Judy Garland, 1944, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Quite a reflective piece. If you imagine that you're sat chilling with some warmth on and this song's playing and you've got yourself a nice drink. Yeah. Okay, if this video brought you any value at all, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And of course, I will see you in the next Vlogmas. Take care of yourselves. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. Welcome back to a Vlogmas episode. And on today's Vlogmas episode, I am presenting you with Erasure. I say. And this record was incredibly important to me, along with like Pet Shop Boys as well, but definitely Erasure, not Eraser, that's a movie. Erasure was incredibly important to me because it encapsulated the time in my 20s, I think, when I would be going out and enjoying myself with friends and going out and driving around aimlessly all night with friends and having a nice time. Nothing too dissimilar to what a lot of youngsters do, and yeah, hanging out and just having a nice time. And this used to be my driving soundtrack for a while. Track 2, I Love Saturday, was such a great song. Man in the Moon as well, and of course Always. Always was definitely their standout hit. If you ever listened to Erasure, I believe it featured on a 2D scroller game about a unicorn years ago. But yeah, this record is really important in terms of positive experiences of my youth. And I enjoyed the fragility of the message that they put out there, and the way the electronic synth music sounded so otherworldly to me. It was incredible to hear. Really had a lasting impact on me. This record came out in 1994, so it's been around for a while. They were a great band. They still are. I believe they're still touring to this day. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, of course, as well. And I also wanted to throw in a Christmas song recommendation today as well, and that song being I got it right, John Lennon, Happy Christmas, the War is Over, and that was in 1971. And he goes, so this is Christmas. It's the way to start any Christmas day, I guess. And that's an incredible song as well. So if you get the chance to check that out, please do. Because I'm trying to make a concerted effort to watch some Christmas movies and do the Christmas music and stuff like that. But I have a confession, I'm struggling a little bit to get in the Christmas spirit. I tried to put the decorations up the other day and I really struggled. I had no motivation for it whatsoever. And I wasn't expecting that at all, because I've always pushed to make an effort each year. But it was a bit of a struggle, I guess it's with loved ones getting poorly and stuff like that. It gives you a good perspective on life, I guess. Oh, and other more positive, sorry, going off on a tangent then. Up on Twitch, I started streaming the other night. Started having over some clay sculpting and some kit bashing and stuff like that, just for a laugh. And look at this mess of a sculpture that I've started so far. So I'm streaming a little bit on Twitch as well. I can't configure my Mac to play video games, so I just had to go with sculpting. It's still quite brittle for the most part, but it's in the making, it's in the making. I bought a glue gun today, so I'm going to start going through bits and pieces of just old bits of wiring and stuff like that, and seeing if I can do something with it, some sort of sculpture, some sort of piece of art or something like that. I'll just give it away on the page or something when it's done. Then that could be his head or something, or its head, various bits. So I'm probably going to try and take that apart on the stream and glue it all together and make it work in some way, shape or form. Yeah. So if you want to stop by, I'm usually up on Twitch as well. The links are in the link tree down below as well, so feel free to check that out as well. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next vlog. You take care of yourself and the important people in your life. Bye. Hi guys, and welcome to Ads Versus. Good to see you today. Hope that you're keeping as well as can be on this incredibly chilly day once again. I hope that the important people in your life are keeping as well as can be, and I thank you so much for stopping by with me for a few minutes today, as we run through my most influential records throughout my musical life. And what we have today is Third Eye Foundation. Now, Third Eye Foundation is comprised of one producer who chiefly makes like trip hop music and whatnot, and this embodies a lot of different records together. There's 3 discs worth of music in here, so it's very cool. This stuff was really haunting to me. And when I was trying to explore the ideas of hauntology and different ethereal sounds, this record had an incredible effect on me. Before that, the only reference point I had was like Enigma, Michael Cretu, the French producer. But this guy just blew my preconceptions out of the water. The track "You Lost That Loving Feline" off Little Lost Soul, fantastic. Bunch of amazing remixes. Loved the trip hop vibe to it, very spooky. I just made me imagine spoken words over the spooky parts and stuff like that. So yeah, it just set me on the path towards production in a slightly different way, as opposed to big beat and break beat, which is where I was coming from initially. Having immersed myself in like Atari, Teenage Riot and Prodigy and Digital Noise over the years. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Very considered atmospheric soundscapes. Really, really important, really, if you're a avid listener of atmospherics and trip hop, loosely atmospheric trip hop music. The Third Eye Foundation collected works. And I wanted to recommend today Brenda Lee's Rock Around the Christmas Tree from 1958. Song is full of frivolity and excitement, and it would surely put you in a pleasant mood listening to it. So I recommend that you check that song out as well. Take that off the list. I've got like a list for the month of songs, so I take them off each day as I've recommended them to you. In terms of the day, not a great deal to report really. I have been fairly steady in terms of getting stuff done. Some more stuff has appeared on the horizon that needs attending to. Sorry if it sounds very vague. It's just I can't go into too much details for privacy reasons. But yeah, I didn't stream last night, and I said to myself that I was going to, and I was just incredibly exhausted at the end of it. So yeah, so there's that. This thing has obviously remained untouched since I last built a little bit more on it. So maybe I'll give live streaming tonight a quick dabble. Who knows? We'll see. I've got a bunch of stuff to kit bash with it, so it's not like I am lacking things to do on stream. Yeah, I feel like I should have more to share with you, but I don't, and there's no point forcing it, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I will of course see you in the next video. You take care of yourself and the important people in your life. See you later. Bye. Aphex Twin, Come to Daddy, the single. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. Good to see you today. Hopefully you're keeping as well as can be, and of course I am back with the next Vlogmas talking about Aphex Twin, Come to Daddy, the single released on Warp Records. Come to Daddy is a song that is that subverts the ideas of electronic music, to me anyway, and was a huge influence on the way that I approached textures and layers of music when it comes to electronica. So what I loved about Aphex Twin is that it always felt like a journey. Every time you listen to a piece of his work, it's there's a beginning point and an end point. It doesn't feel stagnant at all. There's a song on here called I can't even pronounce it. It's Bouncing Ball, something Bouncing Ball, and he ends up panning like the beat and manipulating the beat, and so that it's like traveling all the way around you. I highly recommend that you check this out because it's incredible. I should probably bring up my Christmas recommendation of the day as well, and that comes in the form of Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi, 2003, as opposed to, I believe it's Jackson 5 maybe. A great take on a classic song, really, and if you're into your rock music, it kind of fills all of the requirements there. Christmas and rock, I guess. Talking about Christmas and rock, Darkness won't feature on my recommendation list this year, but maybe next year or something. Yeah. Other than that, it's Saturday, and it's going to be a busy one today. Lots of getting out and about. I'll see if I can get some footage for you to see as well, but we'll see as we go on that behalf. But yeah, I didn't have too much really to talk about today, really. Nothing of any massive substance. I just kind of wanted to share that with you briefly. Feeling a bit under the weather, cold-wise. So I'm not going to drag this out. I'll see you in the next video. You take care of yourself and the important people in your life. Bye. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. Good to see you today. I hope that you're keeping as well as can be on this Vlogmas edition. What have we got for Vlogmas today? Well, we have... Oh, there we go. You can see that a bit better now. Dun dun dun. Sage Francis personal journals. Much like Atmosphere, Sage Francis produced indie rap, I guess, boom bap. I guess if you want to call it hip hop music. And this record felt like you were reading a personal journal, to say the least. Each song had so much emotive quality to it in the way that he weaved his stories or splayed out his emotions on a tapestry of words. It was and still is really special to me. One of my favourite tracks in the world, The Specialist, which is track 12, which is fantastic. Love the artwork as well, as always. It's got that sort of scratched together, cobbled together vibe about it. Such a treat to come across this piece of art, because it's nice to own the physical record, and the CD itself is still gets regular plays as well, so that's pretty cool. Normally, after I've explained influential records on me, I give you a Christmas song recommendation, but I don't have my list up in front of me here right now. I'm working on the go, so I don't have a Christmas song recommendation for today, and I'm so sorry. I could pull one out of the air, but I'd probably end up like double packing on it later, so I'm going to keep it as it is. I've been eating far too much vegan Philly cheese steak today, and I'm feeling the effects of it now. It was absolutely delicious. It was. Me and Wolf Mama went out locally to get some food, and It was really nice. The fries were lovely as well, and they didn't do that thing where when you order food and it comes on bizarre like plates, or it comes in a old shoe or something like that. And there's no exaggeration on the old shoe thing either. There's a site called wewantplates.com, and they're also on Twitter, and they go through like people's experiences, photographic evidence of people's experiences having food served to them in ridiculous items other than plates and bowls and stuff like that. So people are served food on a giant piece of slate on the back of a tree trunk, on a trowel. So ridiculous. So food wasn't served like that. The chips, the fries, were served up in a little mug, which is kind of standard, I guess. But yeah, no bizarre altar serving my Philly cheesesteak on. And that was the first time I've actually had a cheesesteak ever, really. I'm not really a vegan, but I will make a concerted effort to eat as much as I can in terms of vegan foods, just because I love animals. But even on the US tour, I didn't even get an opportunity to have a Philly cheesesteak from Philly. When we ended up playing like Kung Fu Necktie there, which is a really cool venue as well, a really good sound, really cool city as well. But I did have a hoagie when I was there. I was in Jersey, which is nice. And some of the Miami fries when we were down in Miami. I have to talk about the US tour in a different video or something. I still have old bits of footage that I'm going to put together for maybe a Christmas episode or something like that, like an hour-long Christmas episode, other than these short 5-minute blogs or something like that. Anyway, I've found a glue gun. I found a bunch of items. I'm probably going to live stream on Twitch, put them all together or something like that. I don't know. Might be a cool little thing to do. Food for thought. So let's eat twiglets. All right, guys. Appreciate you stopping by for a few minutes today. I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that you're keeping okay, and that the loved ones or the people that you hold dear to your heart are doing as okay as can be. I've got a few friends going through rough patches currently, and if you're watching the vlog, you can message me anytime if you want to talk about stuff. Always open to help in any way, shape or form. So yeah. Alright, hope you have a great day. Definitely check this out, Sage Francis Personal Journals. It is awesome. Highly recommend. So you take care of yourself and the important people in your life, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Hey guys, and welcome to As Versus Music, Prose, Poetry Vlog. Good to see you, and Happy New Year. I'm so full of seasonal flu, it's not even funny. Anyway, good to see you. I should probably start by saying huge apologies to not vlogging over the Christmas period into the New Year's period. I had this idea of knocking out a Vlogmas video every single day throughout December. However, that went south very quickly because, as I've mentioned in previous vlogs, I support a loved one with dementia, and juggling that alongside friends and family commitments and work commitments meant there wasn't enough creative headspace to dedicate my time to the vlogs. So I had to take this little bit of time to attend to those things. However, it has been quite nice to step back for a few weeks away from music so that I can feel inspired once again. Boy, have I felt inspired. As you can see from a couple of the previous clips, I've been in the studio quite recently again, really intermittently through the past few weeks, just kind of popping in, doing a little bit for 10-15 minutes and then coming away, but nothing to really get my teeth into in the same way as I felt quite recently again. So that breakaway was really helpful. And now I'm like 7 songs into a record, an EP, probably a set list worth of songs, and I am slowly finding my voice in which to do my spoken word stuff through. It's coming to me slowly, and maybe I'll go into that a little bit more in the next video or something like that. But today's video really was just about having an update to tell you about where I've been up to, what I've been doing, and what's been going on, essentially. I've forgotten that I say so many times that I need to cap that on the head. You can tell that I've been out of the loop of it. I also make ASMR videos and sleep aid videos and wellness videos as well, and I've linked it all in my link tree on all of the social media networks, including TikTok, which I post up prose and poetry pieces most days. So I'm on that as well. Twitch as well. Been doing a little bit on that in the studio last week or something like that. And, doing okay. Even considered getting back on Snapchat, but I believe that's for sort of premium content and that type of thing. So I probably won't be using Snapchat all that much. But yeah, I just didn't want to sniffle too much on camera, just to check in with you, just to say hello, and to give a special salute to Hayner as well for being an absolute legend. I absolutely love you, man, and I hope that you're doing okay and that the heat has subsided somewhat as well where you are. I'm going to go and take some Olbas oil to my nostrils right now. I hope that you are doing okay, and I'll get back to uploading again on the channel, so thanks for bearing with me. I'm going to play out this video with a beat that I've been creating and some spoken word where I've been working on the placements a little bit, so that should take a couple of minutes as well. So cheers. If this sort of content appeals to you, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all that usual jazz for engagement's sake, because I like to hear back and I like to connect with you. So yeah, you take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now. Bye.
An ancient place of peace, protecting presumptions of the past. Neither love nor its ghost could ever supplement the truthful in what we lack. Knowing you without bruise, knowing how we brought about a fever, never.
Hi guys, hello folks, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome to As Versus Prose Poetry Vlog, blog thing, music thing with me, Jamie. Still full of cold, as you can imagine, but it's on the mend, so that's all good. So today I wanted to talk about finding my voice, because it's been a long struggle to find my voice. I'm feeling comfortable with it, and I just want to break down some of the methods that I've found work best. So, number one, spew out your consciousness in written form. Number two, divide said written words up into something that you can fit into a bar of a song. For example, I'm feeling lonely but I savour your taste. I'm not even talking about toothpaste. Let's say something as ridiculous as that. So you'd split it up. So I'm feeling lonely though I'm savouring your taste. So that's bar one. Toothpaste, that's bar two. So you fit those into the bars that you're going to work on. Step three, keep practicing them over and over and over for about, 2 months, until you can recite them alongside the beat without needing to refer to the lyrics. And then keep practicing them so much over those months that you start to develop your own vocal intonations, and your own personality comes through on each vocal. You know how sometimes you'd listen to like a Kanye West record and you'd hear his personality coming through, his attitude coming through on the record or something like that, or any of your favorite artists. You can hear like the vocal change in emotions. Like sometimes it sounds a bit more tender, depending whether you're listening to shouting, screaming, rapping, singing, whatever, spoken stuff. the voices definitely emit certain levels of emotion. So find that in the insaid lyrics as you practice through. And then keep on practicing through enough that you feel confident with the stuff, that you know it in and out, that you can perform it off the top of your head. Go into a recording studio and record that. But don't go into the recording studio to record that until until you're at that point that you feel so confident, you know it off the top of your head, and that you've developed your own emotive take on what you've written. Otherwise it comes across as bland. So know it inside and out, take it to your heart until you know it that well. That would be my advice on what best to do. Now at the end of this video I'm going to attach 2 clips, one where I was singing and one where I'm screaming, and I've been going through various experimental stages in order to find my voice, because I'm very good at screaming but I'm not so good at singing, but I can find a way with singing to make it work, as you'll hear, just like loads of reverb and layering up vocals and stuff like that, you know, and burying it inside the beat. But to me, I think spoken word is the place that I want to take it. Not necessarily rapping spoken word, because I'm not a rapper. I'm a person who likes lyrics, and that's sort of my culture, I think, more so that I can speak to. That's genuinely me. So yeah, so I'll attach those 2 clips at the end. I'll attach the singing one, then the screaming one, so you can see where I've been in terms of experimentation and whatnot as well. If this video brings you any value at all in any way, shape or form, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, notification bell if that's possible, and yeah, please leave a comment, engage in the conversation. I'm always interested to hear back from you, I guess, you know, and cultivate friendships and communities and whatnot. So thank you. I hope that you have a good day. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. Good to see you today. Today I'm giving you a narrated tour of my trip to America, touring back in 2015. As you can see from that opening clip, I was in Tijuana, crowd surfing across some fine people in a bar called Moustache, I believe, at that time. So we just played the West Coast, and we'd travelled across the border to play in Tijuana, which was a crazy experience, that's for sure. But yeah, so this video is just going to be recounting
the run up to traveling over to America and touring with my buddy Nick and my buddy Jeff, and having a really nice time with it, really, you know. So yeah, I guess we'll get into that now. So just prior to going into the whole booking flight process, I just finished off recording some new music, and we'd gone through the whole process of getting all samples and everything off old vinyl records and stuff. You see Johnny Cash there trying to find the right sample. And so I'd spent months writing and recording this record. This is when I had hair, and using the MIDI controller to make some sounds with, and yeah, it ended up being a 10-track record that I was really relatively happy about, mixing electronic, about mixing up like breakbeat and hip hop elements and punk rock and noise elements into it. So yeah, so that we released that record, and then we jumped on the flight over to the States for 5 weeks, going from the East Coast, like New Jersey area, Philly area, all the way down to the bottom of Florida and Miami, all the way, hitting all the different spots along the way, Virginia, Carolina, all of it, and then going back up to New York, and then flying across to Vegas and performing shows on the West Coast then, from Los Angeles and California all the way down to San Diego and Mexico, and then flying back over and finishing off some shows, like some basement shows on the East Coast again in the Pine Barrens. And so that was a lot of fun. That was the last show we played before we went back home. And this is us staying with our buddy Jeff. This is his backyard, and it was incredibly hot. I'm going to give as much information as I can with these like 10 to 15 second clips throughout this half an hour. So this is us driving through New Jersey on our way to Trenton to play a show. And on our way we stopped to show off our new record, our split record, and to speak with the local college radio people about it, and to promote it a little bit, and to promote the show. And we were spending some time talking about it there, and was setting up the merch booth prior to playing in Atlantic City in New Jersey, and it's quite famous for Bruce Springsteen's song, I believe. And this is me walking around some of the sandy areas on the outskirts of like the Pine Barrens and stuff, just checking out a bit of nature and just taking it all in. Compared to the UK, the nature is a lot more noisier in the US. That's what I found. Bugs make a lot more noise than they do in the UK. This was the Trenton show. They had like a huge PA, but it was all blown up, so we only had to use like these two tiny speakers. But it was a cool little venue. I enjoyed that. This clip is of us heading into New York, I believe. That's my buddy Jeff rocking a show in Atlantic City the same night. And after that we began our journey down south on the west coast. So we were heading down to Virginia, and I think it's Bainbridge or something like that. And then after the show, we saw this huge, like, yeah, thunderstorm in the sky. It was quite a prevalent theme throughout the journeys that we see various thunderstorms. Oh, a bunch of geese passing. This is in Florida, in Jacksonville, Florida. Everyone slowed down to let the geese pass, which is amazing. A few different buildings in the Jacksonville area. I think we played a place called Burrow Bar that night. And Nick was doing an amazing job of just getting like extra footage in, and just it was just interesting to see compared to the UK. I believe those are like the Trump Towers or something like that. These buildings, and that was another thing. We'd see like the Trump Towers here in the Miami area now, and we saw them in like Atlantic City and a couple of other places they showed up in, and it was kind of strange. And we're on the search for some nice food in Miami currently. This is the drive through Miami. There wasn't a great deal of like show footage. Down in the Everglades, a few of the tribes, and they showed us their spots and how they share their space with the gators. And these majestic creatures.
They can't see too well. Their vision is perfect.
Incredible.
They can look sideways. They'll probably be able to see something like this. See something here. Alright guys, when we're ready, we're going to continue, okay? I'll let you either 110 or 120 years. Behind his eye, he has these little slits here, so lift them up. That's his ear right there. Oh, wow. His mind is here, but his mind is this little. They're big. I know he looks a little domesticated, but if I touch him like he's a dog, he doesn't like it. There's that big male we were looking at earlier, just like circling around over there. Guys, when you guys come here to feel welcome on this little island, like I said, the original owner, he's not with us anymore. So, like I said, just out of respect for him, that we just kind of do this little settlement the way how the families work.
So a gentleman was cutting some sugar cane down there and showing us how the setup was and how they tried to preserve it. Tasted amazing, really. So that was really cool. So our drive continued after we played Churchill's. We continued our drive back up. And we got the opportunity to swim in some of the hot springs and that popped up along the way, and it was amazing. Like just an incredible experience. Me, Jeff, Nick, just spending the daytime swimming and then playing shows in the evening. Did that for a few weeks. It was nice all the way in, dude. We really became like a team. These long drives bonded us closer and closer together, really. This is through West Virginia now, Charleston, making our way through, which is really interesting. It was really hot there as well. I did not acclimatise too well to the heat at any point, especially on the West Coast. Especially like Palm Springs, that was incredibly hot. Yeah, it was lots of driving. I believe that Washington maybe before we were about to fly over to Vegas, so we'd completed the East Coast side of the tour, and we were getting ready to go across to the West Coast. So yeah, this day I believe we were driving to the airport after picking up supplies, but with the Uber guy. So it's Jeff there, myself and Nick on camera, and we're about to board said flight over to the West Coast. And so we're about an hour away, and I saw this in the distance. Just like, thankfully we're far enough away. And so we landed in Las Vegas, and we took the tram here. Ground transportation, ticketed, and A, B, and C. Straight across, and we got copious amounts of footage of us driving down the strip and just taking it all in, really. As my good friend Jeff had said, it's one thing to take loads of tourist pictures, but there's so many that exist online in a HD sort of way as well these days. It's not so rare, so it was just nice to take it all in. But Nick is ever documenting and taking down like as much video footage as possible. It was incredible to me. Like, the strip seemed like Alton Towers for adults. It seemed like a playground for adults, really. You could walk into pretty much any casino and just start spending your money and play. The buildings were huge, and they wound all the way around, and it was easy to get lost, and it was incredible, really. I mean, the strip was a couple of miles long at least, if not more, from what I remember. But it was just crazy just to take it all in, and to look at all the flashing lights and all the amusements and the attractions that were happening. And it was incredibly warm. We in fact stayed at a place called Circus, which is where they filmed that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas scene with Johnny Depp when he's on the carousel and he sees all the reptiles and stuff. We actually went down there and checked it out and everything. It's kind of a cool piece of history that stuck with me. Yeah, it was so strange to see all like these miniature versions of like monuments like the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty, and they even had like roller coasters and stuff built into their hotels. It was something else, really, something else. And it was just eye-opening to see how much effort they went into the architecture of everything, as you can see. And so this is us lost in one of the corridors on our way out of the casino. I think we'd spent about 15 minutes just walking down these corridors just like that, with a Modelo in our hands, trying to find our way out, and it was very disorientating. There's just no one else around whatsoever. Just corridors upon corridors, and it was very disorientating because we hadn't slept properly either, from going from different time zones and taking like anxiety medication for flying and whatnot. So yeah, but it wasn't a stressful experience either. It was just like taking everything all in as we were going, you know, because there's so much to see. So that place I spoke about, Circus, this this is the place, and they had this trapeze act, circus act playing constantly, and like this little garden and things like that. Yeah, it was just something else. It was a playground for adults, essentially. Okay, so the following day we left Vegas, and we took this road through Nevada desert, and passed a lot of like Fallout references as we were going, Prim and things like that, and Whiskey Pete's and stuff. We actually stopped there to use the commode, and drove through Nevada desert to the west coast in order to play the Los Angeles shows, which is what we're doing. And as you can see at the bottom there, the Los Angeles traffic was crazy, and there's the Hollywood sign there, and we're stood just off the Melrose Road thingy, and then down there's the bowl at the bottom, and it was incredible to see Los Angeles at night. I think we were headed to maybe like the Redwood Bar or something like that, or the Blacklight Lounge, I can't remember. Sound checking, making sure everything's kind of coming through okay. This was a place that we stopped outside in Los Angeles for breakfast, and they were fully loaded burritos. Now we have a helicopter as we're driving towards Mexico, San Diego, and I think this was maybe Santa Ana, maybe, or something like that, or maybe San Diego, I'm not sure. This bit here, this is Mexico itself, Tijuana, sorry. And so we just played, and then we're driving back up after Mexico, I think to Palm Springs or something like that, maybe. It was incredibly hot the whole time. I've just never known heat quite like it, to be honest with you. But I think one of my favourite bits of the 5 weeks we were away was travelling through the desert and seeing, like, you know, the Mojave wasteland, and just seeing all sorts of, like, I don't know, interesting things like lights shining in the distance, and then finding out that it's all of these with the sun reflecting off it. It was crazy. So yeah, there was a couple of bars that we went to play where the promoter didn't turn up, and it was like pay to play or something like that, or they gave you a per diem or something. I can't remember. Anyway, we ended up playing, and the money that they reserved for us we'd spent on buying ourselves some drinks. However, they didn't tell us that till afterwards, so we ended up with nothing at all, and we were really annoyed about it. And yeah, and we returned back to New Jersey, packing up merch, and getting our stuff together before we hit the road again. And kudos to Jeff and Nick for being absolute legends and being incredible touring buddies. In fact, the best. Driving, I think, maybe passing Philadelphia or something like that on our way to the airport, sadly. Yeah, that was my last getaway. This was my last getaway, my last proper tour in a very long time, really. I've done a couple of weeks or 10-day tours here and there since, but being back home and reflecting on it is what happened here. So thank you so much for stopping by. Take care. See ya. Bye-bye.
Hi folks, good to see you. Hope that you're keeping as well as can be, and thank you so much for stopping by today. So the topic of today is music videos, and I'm thinking about running through various music videos that I've worked on throughout my, not career, but my endeavour as a musician. With the advent of my band dropping the latest music video, I thought it would be a good idea to revisit some of the noisy electronic music videos that I've done over the years by now. So I'm not going to do them all in this video. I'm going to break them up into a few different videos because I can just talk a little bit about them in a little bit more depth, if that's cool with you guys. Coffee is the one, by the way. So yeah, so the first one I would like to talk to you about is mother tongue. Love is the first language that we learn. And I wrote that track back in 2015, ready for that US tour, which you've seen from the previous vlog, recapping through that. And the footage that I captured from that tour, which again you saw in the previous vlog, I was able to put together and put into a music video. And that's kind of the approach I've taken to a lot of the music videos that I've been working on, rather than trying to create on a consistent level. Sometimes it's better to just document and capture, I think. So capture rather than create sometimes, which is kind of worked out better in a lot of ways. That's what we were able to do with Mother Tongue. I struggled to bring together a certain level of cohesion with the video. That was my biggest obstacle with Mother Tongue, was trying to have it all unified. And this actually happened quite a few times over the years, in which I've tried to bring like various clips from various gigs together and have it having a unified feel. And there's been a few ways around that, like color grading or adding a certain filter to bring the sense and the feel together, along with the music and the actual imagery. And I'm learning a little bit more as I go each time. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely one of the funnest things to do, especially when you have no expectations and you have nothing to lose in terms of creativity. So it's always good to come from that sort of a place, really. The recent one that we did with the band is going to be dropping. A music video is going to be dropping very, very soon, and that was filmed on like a 16mm tape camcorder type of deal,
whereas a lot of the stuff that I've done with the electronic noise projects have all been camera phones or Activision GoPro style cameras and stuff, because I work within what budget is available, you know. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. I did have a Canon DSLR at one point in my life, which I got a lot of usage out of. Maybe I'll search out some footage for that as well to show you at some point. But for now, I'm going to make 2 or 3, maybe 4 videos on the music videos that I've made, and I'm going to attach the music videos to the end of the narrative, explaining a little bit about them. And so the first one is mother tongue. Love is the first language that we learn. It was my attempt to hold down a few melodies. So without further ado, as they say, as everyone says, I'll let the music video play out, and you can check it out and let me know what you think. And I'll continue the next vlog with a similar sort of feel as well, where I'll go through an old music video. So cheers, and I hope that you're having a good day. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, good to see you today. Welcome to As Versus, vlog channel with some poetry, prose, music and stuff that I do in between and daily life, etc. Well, as daily as possible. I've been in London for the past few days, so apologies on the uploads. It's been Wolf Mama's birthday, so we've been down there celebrating and having a really nice time, getting to see some of the sights and eating nice foods and stuff. And if you want to see some more of that or some BTS, please check out the Instagram and the Twitter and whatnot and the Facebook page. It's all linked in the link tree down below the video anyway, so it's a good way to stay in contact as well and to let me know how your day is going as well, so I appreciate that. So continuing off from the last video where we did Mother Tongue, today we're going to do Ghost Games, and this is another digital noise, heavy electronic track that I wrote back in 2015, and I made this video on a super low budget. I was inspired by my friend Karl Kovakian's work, where he utilized low budget and got simple, effective impact. So I thought I'd try something similar. So the layout for the video itself is in two parts really. I attached a camera to the vehicle as I was driving home. You know, like how you get those dash cams to keep an eye on your car. I had one of those, and I recorded the road as I was driving home. And that footage was the intro footage into the song itself. Over it is my friend Celine Jim, who is talking about her experiences of growing up in Istanbul and with the conflict that was happening at that time in 2015. So she spoke a little bit about feeling a little bit lost and whatnot. So that's the narrative that you hear there, and it's something that I think struck a chord with many people, even though her own experiences were quite extreme in a lot of ways, and there was a lot of conflict, as I'm sure we've seen from coverage worldwide. It struck a chord with a lot of people. So that was the basis of the intro to the song, just driving along and then replaying back this piece of conversation Celine wanted to impart, and obviously I'd asked her permission if I could put it on the record and whatnot, and she gave her blessings for that. So thank you, Celine. Much love and respect to you for just being wonderful. Oh yeah, so the second, when the beat kicks in and the track starts with the vocals and the heavy aggressive drums, I kept it quite straightforward. I just kept the shot on me. Had the light behind me which blacked out my face. I wanted to go quite anonymous on this one, because in a lot of the videos in the past for like my Project Ghost and Bastions and various other things, I've always been quite full frontal imagery wise in the video, and I wanted to do something a little bit more anonymous. So for all the video I'm essentially headbanging and mouthing the words along, and we set it up in the studio room downstairs to do that with a backlight, me and my brother. I'm so sorry, I'm still slightly full of congestion, shall we say. And yeah, mouthing the words. It's quite a short song, quite effective. The words spoke for themselves. I had like an army hat pulled down over my face so you couldn't quite see it properly, and I still had hair at this time as well. So, so there is that. So yeah, so I was headbanging along like this and mouthing the words, etc. And then towards the final section of the song, it kicks in and the vocals are all out screaming. So I wanted something visually to marry that idea as well of your history and your heritage being taken. So I had my brother put on one of my winter gloves and to shove my head like it's ever so quick. Most people miss it, but he shoves my head. We had to do that take a number of times until it looked quite convincing. It didn't hurt, and there was no injury or anything like that. I just wanted that effect, that visceral effect on camera, and that's something that I've always tried to convey through the music videos I've done, whether it be like Amongst Crows or various videos anyway. So, so he shoves my head, and he grabs a hold of the scruff of my neck and is yanking me, and I'm trying to shove him off as we're going, so that it's to visualize the idea of struggle, history pulling you in two different directions. And I was really happy with the end result, but I needed something just to tie it all together thematically. So I had a VHS filter, which I put a VHS... lines that you'd get from replaying and rewinding old VHS tapes. Because that is something that speaks to me, something I grew up with. I'm a man who was born in the 80s, 83, grew up with VHS, so I wanted that feel throughout each of the music videos along with the release, so there is a certain continuity, and I got that with the VHS filter, with the VHS lines, so there, to pull the driving footage together and the performance footage together, I put the VHS filter over it, and it brought everything together quite nicely. And it's a very simple video, but very effective as well against the aggressive big beat, industrial noise style electronic track itself. So I'm going to stop talking. I am going to let you check it out and give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know what you think. I mean, 99.9% of people aren't going to be into it, so I get that, but if there's anything that you find interesting about it, or if you just think it's rubbish, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate interaction, and I wish you a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow with another music video, and I'll talk a little bit about it, or ASAP anyway. Okay, thanks so much. You take care of yourselves and the important people in your life. I'll see you again. Bye-bye now.
People have been living on this land for over 9,000 years. Many different cultures and different origins coming together have created a unique and irreplaceable characteristic, and I've always appreciated it. But lately, I feel like people have been losing touch with traditional values, and this has created a big change in our culture.
Hi guys, welcome to Ours Versus, regular vlogging, poetry, prose, music, etc. Good to see you today. Hope that you're keeping as well as can be, and thank you for stopping by with me for a little bit today. So the contents of today's video are in regards to the music videos that I've produced and going through them and looking back through them again in retrospect. And as you can see, I've just been in the studio with my good friend Nick, and we've been working on some new music as well to bring you. So really looking forward to that as well. Still a long way off, but we're making positive steps in the right direction, and it's really exciting to do. So here's to more of the future as well. Nick's an absolute legend, as I've always said on this channel anyway. Nothing but love and respect to him for just being awesome, and it's just so good to bounce ideas, creative ideas off someone who gets it. So I'm going to talk about Salt Water today. That's the name of the track that we did the music video to back in 2000 and something, 2016, 17, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, the basis for the track was wanting to have a song midway through the record that still pumps and still has a certain vibe, and I wanted to use up a few words that didn't quite fit on other songs, but it fit perfectly and thematically when it was brought together under the umbrella of this particular beat that I wrote. In addition to that, I brought my good friend Carl over from the States, from Penn State, over to tour with us around the UK for a couple of weeks in November, a couple of years back. And Nick has always captured lots of great footage that we were able to transfer into a music video of our travels together. So we've gone all over the UK, down to Cornwall, to Penzance, to London, to Manchester, Leicester, so many different places. I think we did about 10 days of touring, so it wasn't too bad, but it was great for Carl to get to see the UK a little bit, and he was well received. We did North Wales as well. We did a record store in North Wales, and we finished off with a local hometown show as well, which gave him a great send-off. Carl's an incredible guy to tour with, and nothing but love and respect to him for just being an absolute legend the entire way through. So we captured all the footage, brought it together. I wanted to capture the live feel this time, so I definitely wanted lots of energy. I definitely wanted quick cuts and quite a fast-paced music video this time to go along with the track and to go along with the overall energy that I wanted to exude. So that included crucial points of energy in our performances, and lots of interaction between the crowd, and lots of variety in scenery as well. Yeah, I wanted to step away from the whole VHS filter vibe on this one, and just to have a bit of fun and to have the energy come through with it. So there's a lot of different vibes in the video footage, but it's authentic and it's energetic, and I'm really chuffed with the way it came out, and really chuffed with the interaction that the UK audiences put forward. Really awesome. Spent years grafting to get some sort of rapport with the audience, especially in the UK, and for them to come through on that tour whilst bringing someone from stateside was awesome, and I was just so humbled and thankful to the fellow UK citizens for coming through on that, as you'll see in the video anyway. So I sound a little bit like a robot, so so I'm going to stop talking at this point now, I think, and let the video play out. And there will be another video again on another music video as soon as I'm able to locate it, so bear with me on that anyway. Of course, if this video brings you any value in any way, shape or form, whether it be through some distraction, some entertainment, if you're a musician, you want to connect, please let me know by smashing the like button, as they say, by considering to subscribe, or do subscribe, and yeah, hitting the notification bell, but I don't think I've got enough followers for that yet, maybe. Yeah, I'm clearly waffling on quite a bit here now, so I'll let the video roll. You take care of yourselves and each other, and of course I will see you in the next one. So see you soon. Take care. Bye bye now. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus, regular vlog updates, music, prose and poetry content. And today I want to continue talking about revisiting old music videos that I've made. And one of those is Trouble Hunters. I will play a 20-second snippet here for you now. The audio can't be played. The song can't be played, unfortunately, because I signed the song over to the record label that we were working with at the time, and that would get picked up. So if you want to hear the industrial noise electronica track, just type in Trouble Hunters and that should come up for you. And I am going to play the snippet of the performance for you right now. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite an energy-fueled track, energy-fueled performance, I should say. It was my brother and myself performing in an unused room at my mentor's house. It was actually went on to become a kitchen, and it's the place where I work out of the studio as well, when you see some of the studio footage. And it kind of suited the vibe perfectly. So we'd written 2 tracks with an awesome local hip-hop producer. Well, I demoed them and wrote them on GarageBand, and then took them over to him so that he was able to beef them up in Ableton, essentially. And then I wanted to do a collaboration. I wanted to put out a split record via the record label I was working with someone from the US, within the same sort of vein of and style of music. And my buddy Jeff, as I've spoken about many times, came back and was up for the offer, and he wrote his 2 songs, and we'd written our 2 songs and proceeded to put out an awesome split 7-inch record with like the green splatter colorway on it. I think we released a bunch. I think it was like 500 records, and we toured that split 7-inch the UK all the way through the UK and the US until we completely sold out, which was awesome. And so I've spoken in previous vlogs about having the VHS theme running through a lot of the work that we did. So when it came to shooting the Trouble Hunters video, me and my brother wanted to translate the energy, raw and bridled energy, because the track itself is quite energetic, kind of Death Grips, Atari Teenage Riot vibe to it. And we set up in the room and had a friend film it on a DSLR or something like that, I think it was. And once we'd got sufficient amount of takes, I started to splice it together. Sometimes we'd do 3 run-throughs of just one particular type of shot, where it was just both of us, 3 run-throughs of just my brother performing, 3 run-throughs of just me performing. So we had a lot of different shots to splice together, and this was before Nick had joined. And I was happy with the overall result, but I wanted something that would have the similar feel and aesthetic to the person that I was releasing the split record with, namely Jeff. And Jeff was also into VHS movies and horror and that as well, so he kindly took the raw footage that I'd pieced together and sequenced together, and he projected that in his lounge and had organically created like a VHS feedback vibe throughout the song, and it looked awesome at the end, because as the song comes to its climax, as it comes to its end, the footage gets more and more blurrier, and he just did a fantastic job with that, and I was really happy with the end result, and was really happy with the overall feel of that particular song. So kudos to Jeff for that one. And yeah, and we proceeded to put that out, and the record label pushed that around, which was really helpful as well. And with that, then the fruition with to tour the stateside and the UK began, and my brother wasn't able to commit as much as I would have liked to, because of life, because of jobs and getting his work done and his artwork done and stuff like that. So I recruited Nick on the whim, and we were best buds ever since after that. And yeah, and so that's how the Trouble Hunters video came to be, really. There's not too much further to say on it. Again, I wish I could play you the whole performance, but I'd get a copyright strike. No, what's the word? Yeah, a copyright strike as soon as it would be uploaded. It would be recognised by TuneCore or something like that. So definitely check out the song if you like industrial noise, big beat music. But other than that, just a quick short one to share with you today. So I'll see you in the next video anyway. Thanks very much for stopping by. Take care. Bye bye now. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. Good to see you today. We are back in the studio behind me here, and I am just going through some prose poetry work and beats at the moment. Also going through some of the work me and Nick have been doing together, just sorting out some more lyric placements and stuff, but that's something that I prefer to do with Nick, because this new record is totally a collaborative thing, and it really feels like we're becoming more and more of a band with each passing session, really, and each passing show that we play together. For the longest time it was just me with the electronic noise stuff, creating and making stuff, so this is genuinely the first time that I've collaborated since being in a band type situation, where I get to bounce ideas back and forth with my friend. And Nick's just an incredible guy to work with anyway, you know, and he's an incredible friend first and foremost. Nick, if you're watching this, you know it's nothing but parcha caria dichdi. So yeah, so I'm in here today just going through some prose poetry stuff for my own enjoyment. It's a chilled Sunday. It's a day off, so that's quite nice as well. And yeah, so I'm just kind of working through it for the most part at the moment. I'll just flip up the view for a second. There we go. So so I've got all the songs and everything in iTunes, and we're just kind of working through them at the moment in terms of the stuff me and Nick are doing. Pretty basic setup. Normally we'd have a mini chaos pad here as well, so we can find settings for live use, and Nick would be playing and triggering samples and synth stuff here, as well as doing vocals as well. This is like the first time where we're getting dual vocals, like present dual vocals on this full-length record as well, so that's going to be cool. And it's just really nice in this space, to be honest with you, to work with a lot of people. Nick, like when I was recording the My Project Go stuff, hang on a second, yeah, when I was recording the My Project Go stuff, brought a guitarist down here, and he recorded the vocals at the studio here. I was full of cold at the time, and you can hear it a little bit on the record as well. So normally I prefer to scream at quite a higher pitch and a higher range, but I was like on that record. So this is my favorite space to be in, really. I like using this space to do these vlogs, to write electronic beats and practice and stuff, to track vocals, because we have a plethora of mics to try out here, and a really good DAW system, a DAW system here, digital performer, which is really cool. And my best bud Bev at the helm is able to master the usage of digital performer pretty much, so that's awesome. And I'm also going to film an ASMR video in here today from my channel. It's all in the link tree and whatnot as well, if you want to check that out. Make videos to help people relax and sleep, and help reduce feelings of anxiety, depression, isolation, etc. Because I guess it's something we all feel at some point in our lives, and it's difficult to communicate that sometimes. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to maybe try a performance of the spoken word beat song as well in a little bit after I've gone through it. So this will be a very quick transition, I guess, for you guys. It'll be hours for me, so.
Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. And I'm structured, an ancient place of peace, protecting presumptions of the past. Neither love nor its ghost could ever supplement the truthful in what we lack. Well, knowing you without bruise, knowing how we brought about the fever, never before a believer in our energies of synergy. So love, an absolute Aristotle car crash of passion. Flashing a wagon wheel, kid fashion desire to praise the choir. A bargain bin of a quiet fire, my belly a funeral pyre. Sometimes it's easier to let go, I just wish I could. Because it's in your sorrow that you find the meaning, and this blanket stare of opulence is leaving. They say you're a traitor, but you are not. I know that I'm all that I've got, and you are not me, and I am not me. I am simply a canvas stretched across words like I'll get it done, I'll complete the task. And daily demands are indeed the reward, and I've rewarded every day at the drop of a hat. Oh blissful ignorance, you miss me so much. Oh suffering, you told me to be alone. Oh suffering, you hold me close. There's so many things that I wanted to say, but my head is full of stuff, so I just replay over and over until it's done to death. I cannot ingest, but I've made my bed, and I get on my own bloody nerves. Bone and sinew, it's all absurd. Wandering around, aimless, painfully painless, a child of the 80s. Do you want to try and open up? It's not so easy when you've had enough.
So that right there is a first ever proper run through of saying those words out loud. I'm hoping to add a bit more grit and a bit more raw emotion to it, but I'm just finding my placement in the spoken word prose at the moment. And it's hard, but it's rewarding at the same time. I mean, I could scream my guts out all day long with no problem whatsoever. But actually finding a convincing way to enunciate words, to really say what I'm trying to say with the true emotion that it deserves, takes practice. It's like confidence. Confidence is doing something over and over until you get good at it. Confidence is only repetition. Skill is only repetition. So I am the product of repetition, a repetitious nature. I might write something about that, actually, about that whole concept of repetition. But anyway, you get the idea. Sorry for this being such a short video today, but I just wanted to check in with you. We'll be revisiting some more music videos that I've done again ASAP. So cheers for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and the important people in your life. Bye-bye.
Categorizing cataclysm, cornered as equal vision. Call apart in the churning mud of a prison. Everyone holds famine in their hearts. Once you cut the strings, we all fall apart. A pile of flies, birth in you. A foul display, so you drown in the truth. I buried myself, hell I ruined myself. Self-sabotaging burden so heartfelt. That chip on your shoulder is giving you a bad back. Fully formed ideas stuck in a book bag. Biding time whilst we're sleep talking. They died for you, now we're sleepwalking. Lost enough than I care to share. Default befits you renting vacant stairs. Finding peace is all I thought about. I painted down the walls of your house. Small talk gets smaller every day from then. Since we're tainted by the blood of young men, and you wouldn't let me grow, so I let you go. But the vine of your mind's designed to show that players play games in the name of shame. When opposites attract, the name's shaming. Friends I call slaves, I'm not a shipwreck. My soul's an anchor. Rely on yourself, keep your head up and grafted. A life run by touring and not by time. The heart's resolution of walking the line. Like a pastel I absorb into these membranes. How delicate beauty is in my brainstem. You're so over this, I'm underwhelmed. Have you ever actually been yourself? Well, it's ghoulish layers of sand and sinew. The basics of what went into making you. Asking yourself, what am I doing here? White eyes, black night, I'm lonely fear. Sun's down, dark out, sullen members all shout, face down, arms out, drowning the static's mouth.
Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus. Poetry, prose, spoken word, music, vlogs on the regular. I would say daily, but I've been slacking a little bit on that front. So thank you for so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. In today's video, we're going to continue with our recent series of revisiting music videos, and you'll see that in the music video playlist on the channel as well. By revisiting a music video me and Nick did for a song called Cesspool, and the music video itself never actually saw the light of day. That's the difference with today's video. So all I can bring you is BTS footage, behind the scenes footage today, of what we were trying to achieve and what we were going for. We had basically crammed into this room, a tiny room, not this particular room here, but a room, a living room to be specific, cleared out all of the settees and sofas and coffee tables and the TV and everything from this living room. And we'd put bin bags up on the window to block out some of the sun. Set up various lights in various places in the room. It wasn't a very big living room, by the way, as you'll see from the footage. And we printed off loads of obscure and abstract pictures, placed them up on the wall behind the performance behind mine and Nick's performance. Nick was on the electronics, and I was just on vocals, and we had like a wall of pictures behind us. Wall of pictures meant to act like memories, metaphors, symbols and whatnot, and the idea within the pictures that were placed up was going to be a way of tying the beginning and the end and the middle together to tell some sort of abstract story, something like that. And we were going to use like a light box and everything to highlight hands over the pictures and stuff like that. Which was fun. It was a really fun shoot, but I think we ran out of steam, or it was getting too close to a release date, so that kind of all fell through, really. I'm sure the footage is still out there somewhere. I'm going to chase that down and see if I can find whatever is left of it and try to put it up on the channel, hopefully. But you know, all that I have for the moment is this unused behind the scenes footage. And as always, I want to share all the various creative endeavors that I do, especially with Nick, especially with all the creative people in my life, with you, almost like a time capsule in a way as well. So there is that. It was cool to do, and I loved the pacing of the shoot. I mean, we did it all in an afternoon, I think, all of the shooting, which included like 3 different takes of us both playing together, 3 different takes of us each performing from different angles, so we could splice all these various takes together to make an exciting music video. And what else was there? Oh yeah, my biggest weakness when it comes to performing for a music video is miming. I really struggle to mime the words along, so I often will have my hand up in front of my mouth with the microphone blocking my mouth, so you can't see me missing the pronunciation of the words in time with the music, because I have terrible rhythm, shall we say. I think I've mentioned this on my ASMR wellness channel as well. I have terrible rhythm. That's why I could never be an ASMR rhythmic tapper in any way, shape or form. So yeah, there is that. But the video was really cool to do. The 3 of us got it done in an afternoon, and it was just the editing aspect and pulling it all together with a cohesive vibe, and then time constraints. I think it just didn't materialize the way that it should have, really. I guess I need to find that footage and just do it and put it out. There's quite what I would consider quite a punk approach to the creative things that I do. I just tend to want to do it, get it done, not refine them too much and put them out, which can sometimes be a weakness and a big fault, because I just want to get it out there and get it out to the wider audience, and you find folks to consume and enjoy and entertain you for a little bit. So it didn't pan out in the end, but I do have some behind the scenes footage to share with you in a second anyway. I'm not sure, I need to go through my hard drive to see what other music videos I have left on there. I have music videos that I've done with bands, but I'm not sure about uploading those because it wasn't really my what's the word? It wasn't necessarily my full creative input, my doing. you know, there was 4 or 5 other people in the various bands that I've done, and a videographer and stuff like that. So I don't think it would be 100% right to kind of go through old Bastion's material or old My Project Ghost material and put that up on the channel. It just wouldn't sit right. Whereas I don't mind with the electronic stuff I do with Nick, because that's solely my own doing and my own volition, really. So I have a heap more music videos out there, but I don't think that I could necessarily share the process with you. But I am going to be doing more music videos, that's for sure. In the near future as well. And yeah, lots of ideas planned. I recently discovered some script ideas that I had as well that I want to do for some new music videos. Nothing too drastic, just some basic filming and stuff like that, and no out of the world concepts or things of that nature. Just some fun music video ideas, and I have a bunch of music in the works as well. So and me and Nick have a bunch of music in the works as well, so we're going to probably get that stuff together and get it out there ASAP. Okay, I'm waffling. I guess it's probably a good idea if I stop waffling now, so you can check out the bits and pieces. I'll try to put them together in a cohesive manner, as you saw from the beginning there, beginning clip of the video. But yeah, I think there's only like a minute and a half's worth of behind the scenes footage. I'll just play them back to back for you so you can have a look. So yeah, so thank you so much for stopping by today, and of course I will see you in the next video. You take care of yourself and the important people in your life. Until then, bye bye now.
I'm just ready to get some thinking on.
Check, check. To him, it's nothing short of a spaceship, and there are no lifeboats on this ocean of moral platitudes. To him, he is conduction, not convection, and he batters proposition with a day-to-day person. In all honesty, he's a prodigy, a multi-soft pedigree, passing on particulars.
Hello folks, good to see you today and welcome to As Versus Music, Prose and Poetry. I didn't get the height properly, so I'm stooping a little bit. My 6'2" frame slightly just hunched over in this kind of a manner for a minute.
we're in today, me and Nick, and we're going to be working through Medusa a little bit more. So maybe I can pick up some highlights for you, show you a little bit of that as well. I'll need to get this phone charged up as well. So yeah, so we've got a productive session ahead of us today. I've also been doing a little bit of prose music as well, just to warm up as well, as you can see. So it's kind of all in the process and all kind of getting there slowly and slowly and slowly. But it's cool to be back in this space. It always feels very productive, as I've said in the last vlog, I believe. And it's really nice just to have that space to go at our pace, really. We've been tackling the record from a few different angles, me and Nick. First, we just attempted to get a bunch of stuff recorded, and then we're going to try and just practice through it and just find placements a bit more. There's no correct way to approach a full-length record, really. You have to approach it the way that makes sense to you, because that's what's most authentic, really, and authenticity is very important when you're writing a record. So we just kind of go at it the way that we seem to navigate through best. So that's where we're kind of up to, really, with it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've got the carcass of 10 solid songs of electronic noise and some beats and stuff on there. But they just need to be refined a little bit more. But it all weaves into one. There's some of the things to do with beat production that need sorting out. There's some of the things with lyrics that need to be sorted out. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the pacing of all the records. And it's cool we made that with each song on the album, is what I meant to say, not records. What on earth am I going on about? So many different thoughts are spinning through my head at once that I lose track a little bit sometimes. But I'm feeling good about it, and I think that we are on the right path, as I'm sure Nick can attest anyway. It's coming together, and we're making executive decisions together. Like there's like track 9, which I wasn't feeling too much, but Nick was like into it being there, and it was just like, oh, let's check it out and see if it works. And yeah, it's a cool thing about having the collaborative thing, whereas I would always make the executive decisions in the past. This is a more of a unique approach, and a more, I hate to use the word organic, but a more authentic way to approach making music collaboratively. Sorry. So yeah, let me switch up the angle and you'll see some stuff in a minute. So
this is Nick, as some of you might have known from before. Thank you so much, Nick, for stepping in front of the camera with me for a little bit today. We have been flat out for the past 4 hours just working through this new record, haven't we?
Yeah, getting the vocal patterns down, working on delivery, his initiation, which words work in the right spots and stuff. So yeah, it's been pretty productive, hasn't it?
It's been incredibly productive. Guys, we have 10 songs to bring you, and at the moment we've been listening through a lot of vocal stuff, but we've got to consider the production of the beats and making sure that everything sounds the same. Sorry, not sounds the same, but has a similar consistency and vibe overall, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's probably a good shout, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have some live instruments coming as well, don't we?
Oh, yes.
A bit of a teaser for you. So, yeah, we'll be getting out the old high gain guitar heads, the old 4x12s. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah. I really want to do a video with Nick in the future about his musical history and his past and stuff and where he's up to, because the guitar is going to feature quite heavily on one of the songs on this new record, and just want to like go through that a little bit with you at some point, if that's cool, dude.
Yeah, I'll try and get through it. I'll try and dig up some old stuff, find some old pictures, clips, videos, try and pad some things out a little bit.
We'll have a nice panel as we go through it all as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be pictures of you and portrait and all kinds. Can dig out, yeah.
Oh God.
The old musical history.
It's going to be a bit of a cringe fest.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. Yeah.
So we're knee deep in this new record at the moment, but it's coming together. Just to recap today, we are getting about, what would you say, like 70% of the vocal placements in order?
Good 70%, yeah. We've done really well today, I think. Yeah, really, really well. Not much more to add to that, I don't think, in terms of how, in terms of vocal delivery and patterns. I think we've pretty much got everything down now. It's just working out how where the breath is going to be, isn't it, really, more than anything?
Massively. Because a lot of the stuff is quite shouted, aggressive stuff.
Heavy vocals, yeah. So, once we've got those breaths down, we'll get them recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a bit of sorry guys, the power's just gone a bit. Yeah. We had a little bit of a blip with the Chaos pad as well, didn't we?
A little blip, yeah. The battery nearly ran out on us, but easily sorted.
Yeah, it's some cable management.
Just a quick unplug in there, and yeah, all done. Easy.
Legend, absolute legend. Okay, so we're not going to waffle on too much longer. Just wanted to keep you updated for those people who might be interested, and really for ourselves to, a little bit of a time capsule as well. So we are going to be back in here ASAP. We hope that you have a good day wherever you are in the world, and I appreciate you stopping by. If this video brings you any entertainment, any value in any way, please consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, all the usual jazz. And Nick, thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes to sit down in front of a camera as well.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate that.
I'm sure it's my pleasure, but yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Amazing.
Never sold me in front of the camera. Yeah, good.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.
And he sits penitent with his pen hell-bent on writing out the lines to the signs of his own crimes. How, he asks, can he ever move on when he's haunted by these feelings that are way too strong? Raging thoughts echo through his head about her and him, now replaced with a feeling of a has-been. Wishing like Otis he just left for Georgia, wasn't under the dock where he first saw her. The screaming in his head every day and every moment, if you can interpret exploited our data and see what's been stolen, talking about confidence.
Hi guys, good to see you today, and welcome to As Versus music, prose, poetry, vlog videos. I bet you haven't seen one of these videos in a while, have you? The car vlog. What you saw there was a snippet of a performance of a practice. Let's not dress it up. First time practice, going through a beat that I'd worked on previously and trying some different ideas, really. Trying out. I've been really interested in the concept of Greek tragedies. Sorry, and so I'm trying to implement those ideas into this particular beat at the moment. Really into exploring these sort of ideas and mythologies, because it gives me a chance to step away from a current work project that I'm working on, so that I come back to it fresh. So what I mean by that is like working through this full length for the electronic noise music that I do with my good buddy Nick. But I find if you become too entrenched in the workload and the headspace, sometimes you can't see the woods for the trees, is it? Or the trees for the woods, or whatever the saying is. So everything becomes a bit muddled, and you haven't got a clear vision so much, because you're so folded in with the mix of everything. So allow me to do the prose music a little bit. Allows me to stretch my written capabilities, and it allows me to find a voice, and it allows me to dust off the cobwebs and come back to the main project with a fresh perspective. So that's why I really enjoy making the prose music as well. It offers me a fresh challenge, so that when I return back to the project at hand, i.e. This full-length record, I'm a bit more fresh when it comes to it. So that's where I'm up to. In fact, here's a snippet of another one I'm working on, still trying to find my spoken word voice. I'll do that right now.
Structured, an ancient place of peace, protecting presumptions of the past. Neither love nor its ghost can ever supplement the true cause of what we lack. On knowing you, without proofs, knowing how we grow apart.
Yeah, so learning to put a bit more immediacy into the performance, learning to control my voice without the necessity to scream, possibly. I don't know. As always, I'm just trying to figure that out, I guess. But it's fun to do, so that's cool. And yeah, so just really immersing myself in different ideas and stuff. And wrapping up a lot of the old prose that I've written. I don't know if I've said in previous vlogs, but I had like 50 odd pages of lyrics to work through, and I post them up on the socials, TikTok, Insta, Facebook, all of the usual stuff. And as well as that, I pick bits out and use it for songs, for pieces of songs. So it all serves a function. It's just I just want to get rid of all the old stuff so I can come at it with fresh new ideas. Hence why having a look at Greek tragedies is one of the ideas as well. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm up to, really. Not too much more to share. Just wanted to check in quickly and just do my bit of talking, I guess. I don't know. And also learning to live stream in real life stream as well. But it all feels like I'm streaming mundanity. But then, that's what in real life streaming, I guess, is a little bit about. Sometimes it can't all be Crash Bang Wallop, what a video. So anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on now. Yeah, finding headspace, I guess that's the one. Okay, going to catch up in the next vlog. If you like these sort of videos, consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, commenting, so we can start a conversation. And I hope that you're having a great day wherever you are in the world, a great evening, and I'll see you in the next video. So you take care of you and yours, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye now.
Realizing you've been left in defeat, has an old face writing to this beat, because he hopes, in all honesty, her life will always be exactly in precision with what she always taught him to see. Now he sees a dead outlook on life, no trouble, no strife, no future for a wife, walking on the edge of a knife. Oh, kids, not anything like that. For him, his 9 lives just left with a cat, and still a determination moves through him. But then he sees that time is fluid, that all the wrongs and all the rights will never prepare you for the left hook of life. So he smiles because it's all he has left, and he leaves because he's too hard pressed. He's trying to find balance and trying to shine. Too many obstacles in the process of
Hi guys, welcome to As versus Music, Prose, Poetry, regular vlogging updates. Good to see you today. Hope that you're keeping as well as can be. First off, I want to apologise for any background noise. It's very windy here in the UK at the moment. We have Storm Ciara, I'm not sure how you say it. Anyway, blowing through the UK, and it's hitting North Wales good and proper currently. So I've got the funnel that leads up to the chimney knocking on every now and again. So I apologise for that. I will certainly try to do something about it, post video in edit if I can. And so today I wanted to continue to hopefully bring you a little bit of value in terms of touring musicians and stuff like that, and talk about merchandise, in particular some things that I learned along my experiences of touring and dealing with merchandise. I have a bullet list just underneath here of things to talk about, so I'm going to run through them. They're not the be all and end all lists of things merchandising or anything like that. It's just a few thoughts that popped to my head that I hope to impart upon fledgling bands who are going into touring and whatnot, and some of the mistakes that I made might be able to be good lessons for you as well, you know. So merch. How do we characterize merch in terms of touring? Well, we're talking about your music in a physical form. That's what it means to me. So I know we live in a world of streaming services and streaming music like Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal and all these various sites. But people still have a space in their heart for physical copies of music, whether that be vinyl releases, whether that be CD releases, whether that be tape releases, whether that be floppy disk releases, which I've seen as well. I don't think I've seen a Betamax release, but it'd be kind of cool to see like a video release for the music that you listen to. Anyway, whatever format you choose to put your music out on can be considered merchandise. In addition to that, clothing as well, such as t-shirts, you know, baseball tees, winter warmer tees, beanies, hats, snapbacks. I've even seen mugs at merch stalls as well. So yeah, a vast array of merchandise. That's what I'm talking about today. And when you tour around, you want to try and make a little bit of money in the process as well, because the guarantees from shows can often be sketchy and dependent on the pull of the crowds, unless you have like a written guarantee in place or something like that. So a lot of bands rely a lot on merchandise. So my first point in terms of merchandise, if your budget allows it, bring plenty of merchandise. Bring plenty. It's almost better to be overstocked than understocked. As we found out when we arrived at Poland one time, where we could have made 5 extra sales on t-shirts, I think, at the time, but we didn't have enough extra larges in stock or something like that. So we missed out on 5 sales worth there, and that was a bit of a life lesson there, in terms of merchandise. The second, allocate someone to merch duties. We never did a good job of this, and I take a lot of that blame on my shoulders as the vocalist. I should have allocated myself to merch duties a lot more. I couldn't sell a sandwich, let's put it like that. And plus you've been jumping about, exercising your demons on stage. It's hard to make that mental head shift into getting in front of people and getting rid of the stage persona and just being regular Jamie. These are all excuses. What I should have done is got my butt into gear and got straight on to the merch booth. So very important to allocate someone to merch duties, just to keep an eye on it. And if you are able to, maybe have a TM, a tour manager, if you're fortunate enough, or a roadie, a person who helps you out on the road, or just a buddy that you're bringing along for the ride. Have someone jump onto merch to keep an eye on it. If they're not going to make any sales, then just keep an eye on it, really. But in retrospect, it should have been the vocalist's duty, really. The guitarist, the bassist, the drummers have all got their hands full with lugging in gear, taking out gear, setting up, pulling apart before the next band goes on. So really, the vocalist should have jumped on merch, really. There we go. So that's a big one, really. We kind of floundered in terms of merch duties, and if it wasn't for an awesome, inclusive community and scene within hardcore, we could have easily have been robbed blind on many occasions. So very grateful for that. I was going to mention about making sure you have decent merch designs, but art is so subjective. What one person finds trash, another person finds awesome. So I'm probably going to skip that one, really. That's neither here nor there. That's personal preference as to what art is. Money box. Lockable money box. Very important. It's really cheap to buy. You can get them from pound stores in the UK here, I know. You can get them from Argos, you can get them from any sorts of places. Definitely worth getting one so that you can keep your change in. Also, in addition to that, separate the money so that you don't have all of your money in one box alone. So that if in the likely chance, I should say, that you do get robbed of your money, at least they've taken half as opposed to taking it all. So remember to separate up your money if possible, and to get that straight into the bank the following day if possible as well, for pure safety. In terms of money as well, invest in a card machine. We never did, because we basically were lazy and didn't get around to following up a card machine. I think that it was just at the advent of card machines coming into usage as well. I see it quite often now. I think when I went down to London to see Softkill perform with Slow Crush, they had the card machines as well. It looked awesome. Makes life easy for contactless and not having to exchange money and banknotes and shrapnel and pennies and pounds and whatnot. So definitely worth investing in as well. However, if you don't have a card machine, or just in general, take plenty of change with you. Take plenty of spare change, pound coins, 20p's, 50p's, 10p's, 1p's, whatever your country's equivalent might be. Definitely worth doing, because you never know when you might need it for paying for a toll, needing to give someone specific change if they're very stubborn about having specific change. I know that's happened on a few occasions. Most people have been cool about, like, oh, I've only got so much money, can you just maybe give me a square off amount? And they've always been kind of cool about it. It's always been like really understanding, you know. So that's another one. Take plenty of change. Always have your prices well advertised. A good friend of mine, his band would just have a pay what you think is appropriate, and I thought that was a really cool method as well. I tend to want to have solid prices in place myself, so that the customer is aware. So I tend to go down that route, but whatever works for you, obviously. What else is there? Oh yes, when traveling to other countries, account for the currency difference. And we really noticed this whenever we toured through Europe in the various countries, whether we were down in Hungary and Budapest there, or up in Sweden. You have to account for the differences in the currency and to adjust your merch prices accordingly, I guess. Again, this is dependent on what your particular band or business is, and how much you feel justified in paying or setting the price for your products. You know, we always try to adjust to keep within the sort of price range that people are expected at, say, DIY shows, or whether they would come to big venues, or the prices of what similar level bands were charging. So, you know, it wasn't too extreme in terms of too expensive or too cheap. You know, sometimes you have to adjust a little bit in a live setting, I think. You know, although consistency is key. So in terms of your digital stores that are selling merchandise online and whatnot. So it's a fine line. It's an art more than the science. It's an art more than the science. Okay, take plenty of different merch designs and merchandise for the customers to choose from. Really early on, we realised that if we had more designs, more choice for the customer, the better the results all round. You do have to make that initial investment. You do have to, put a substantial amount of money forward to begin with, but it does pay back throughout the tours and the longer tours especially. So it is worth bringing a good variety of t-shirt designs that caters to a lot of people in your demographic. to choose from, you know, especially if they're enthusiastically supporting your art. It's kind of good to do that. I only have one last bit of merch information, although I could rattle on about for another hour about tips and tricks in terms of merchandise. But one that always came up a lot was that we would sell out of extra large t-shirts, larges, mediums quite well when we were touring, and we were often left with smalls. Now, what could we do with these small t-shirts other than to re-advertise them? Well, if we really wanted to get rid of merchandise, we would suggest that we would knock a little bit of money off and they could take the design, cut it out and turn it into a back patch for their coat, their hoodie, a patch for their bag. So that was one thing that we did offer up for like half price or something, you know, if they wanted to take a small and then just repurpose it how they saw fit, if they were able to. And that worked out quite nicely a lot of the times. I saw people kind of going for that. You know, we'd really slash the price in terms of like just getting rid of items, you know, because it's better to leave tour with no merchandise than to come back with extra merchandise, really, that you have to put back up on your digital store, on your online store. So that's one thing that we did. At the beginning, we also gave away some music and gave away some t-shirts and clothing and stuff like that. I think it's part of the cutting your teeth, running the gamut of learning to establish and make connections and friendships by offering a little bit of value in return for, you know, friendship and art and whatnot, you know. So that's kind of something else that we did as well. Okay, that about wraps it up. If there's anything you'd like to add in the comment box down below, especially in terms of tips and tricks for musicians, please let me know. Drop a comment, you know, always welcome all of them. And if this video brought you any value, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and I guess I'll see you in the next video, my friend. Cheers again. Take care of yourself and the important people in your life. Bye bye now. Hi guys, and welcome to As Versus Music, Prose, Poetry Vlog. My name's Jamie and I've just wolfed down a pepperoni pizza, so bear with me. Good to see you today though. I hope that you're keeping well. Today's video is going to be focused on looking at free online promotion. Sounds like clickbait, doesn't it? But the video is chiefly aimed at musicians, bands, artists who might be making their first foray into promoting their work online, and what are the best avenues from my own experiences. Now, I have a little list I'm just going to bring up here of various sites that might be helpful to you. And before we begin, it's probably worth talking a little bit about boosted or promoted posts that you put up on various websites or various social media sites, wherein you can pay to have more visibility on your particular picture or post. I've tried it out. It's worked okay on occasion, but for example, when I paid for advertising a boosted post on Facebook or Instagram, and I specified and targeted gig goers and music lovers of an electronic genre in the UK, my results came back as people who were living in Moscow and Russia, so it didn't really benefit the tour I was promoting at that time. So I haven't really used boosted or paid for advertised posts since, although I have friends who it has benefited massively, so my word isn't necessarily gospel on that. But I just wanted to talk about that before we got into the various sites. Okay, Facebook. Facebook is good for gathering fans of your work. I found from my experience, I found that if you use Facebook's groups feature to promote your work, that's very helpful. So you might have a band page set up or a creator page set up on your Facebook account. Insert band name here, page, posting lyrics, music, artwork, etc., gig information. Actually going and finding Facebook groups that promote live shows, promote new music is also helpful. Just be respectful of the group's rules, and it's a helpful bit of visibility for your music, your events, your art. So definitely Facebook groups have been beneficial to me. Sorry, my brother's cleaning dishes downstairs after the pizza, so that was what the bang was. Instagram stories. So Instagram's good, it's really helpful as well, especially if you use the hashtag and stories function. It seems to me like sometimes you can pick up extra visibility using the stories feature, much in the same way that Snapchat works as well. Just use the hashtags in a considerate way. So I found that splurging on hashtags, 30 or 20 plus hashtags, is too much and gets me shadow banned or my visibility reduced. Whereas if I put 4 or 5 hashtags in there, there's more scope for people picking up on the post. Consider what your picture and your text are going to be on Instagram, for example. So if it's a tour, make sure that it's the tour poster with clear information and further links in your biography. That's good. If you have a kind community or an enthusiastic community towards your music, tag them in the post. That might help as well. Ask a question of the community, and that will help towards engagement and further visibility of your posts. Twitter. So with Twitter, I find its usage more on a conversational level, so you can insert yourself into conversations that are happening, or you can bring people into conversations that are happening. It is good for cultivating a community of people who are into your music and art on a more informal basis, I guess. So you can talk to your best mate who's living in Spain, for example, and will engage with what they're doing out there, and it can create an opportunity to collaborate. Twitter's very good for collaborating, I found, especially in the DMs, the direct messages. Trending is a fairly new site, maybe, but if you wish to post up your work to trending, it's kind of helpful. It focuses more on videos and YouTube videos, so it's another way of promoting, say, your YouTube related work, like music videos or progress videos or lyrics videos or whatever. It's quite a cool little site. It doesn't seem too bad currently. YouTube, of course, the format that we are on, really good for documenting everything that you're doing. Document helps fans follow your progression, instead of always having to create from scratch. Document so as you go. People are big fans of that. And Reddit has specific communities, much like Facebook groups do, where you can post up your work or link up your work in the subreddits, or you can engage in the conversation in the subreddits. Just be sure to abide by the rules, be respectful of the community and the community's rules there, and no spamming, for example. Discord, I haven't really used Discord much. I can't really account for it, but as your community grows, it's a good place to have a hub of friends, hang out and just drop messages, I think, so that's worth considering as well. So just to recap on some free online promotion, you've got Facebook and Facebook groups. Found that's really helpful. You've got Instagram with the hashtags and the stories. You've got Twitter, where you can collaborate and promote your work, and you can engage in the conversation so that people are able to recognize you and what you're about and the work that you're promoting. YouTube for documenting the progress of your music or where you're up to, or promoting a particular tour. And trending as well for just getting a little bit of extra coverage from your YouTube video. And Reddit as well, much like Facebook groups, has subreddits, sub communities where you can spread your promotional material. Honorable mentions, Discord, and off the top of my head right now, maybe Twitch. If you're an avid Twitch follower and you do a lot of in real life stuff, that's also a good place to go as well. I think that really covers a lot of the free online promotional tactics and tips and tricks that you can use to promote your work. I'd be really interested to hear what you have done yourself, and maybe you could share some tips and tricks in the comment section down below that we can all benefit from. So please engage in the conversation, and thank you so much for stopping by today. It really is appreciated. I hope wherever you are in the world, everything's going as okay as possible. I'm hoping to get back on and to be a lot more regular in my daily uploads, so thanks for bearing with me on that. I'm on it. So if this video brings you any value, consider subscribing, liking, and hitting the notification bell if at all possible. And I of course will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye bye. Hi guys, and welcome to As Verses. My name's Jamie. This is a prose poetry music vlog, and today, as you might have seen from the first clip, I'm going to be talking about my experience at Maida Vale Studios, BBC Radio 1, for the rock show back in 2012, May 2012, I believe we went in to record it. What an experience, what an absolute experience. I look very different to what I did back then. but that's to be expected. We just finished releasing our first full-length record, and we had some good backing behind us, some good management, some good strategies, some good contacts and links, and we were put on to the rock show with Daniel P. Carter, and we're asked to perform 5 songs live in the studio, or to be recorded within 1 or 2 takes, which we did, and it was incredibly nerve-wracking but incredibly awesome to do as well. We basically went in, set up, did a few takes, went for the live takes, mixed and mastered relatively quickly, and then had a little bit of an interview, I believe, in the process, if I can't remember correct. And yeah, wow, it was an incredible experience. Like I've just said it like a million times. When we first arrived, we had like Hot Chip, who were there the day before and loading all their gear and stuff. I think I might have mentioned this before, but I had a Spinal Tap moment, you know, where that movie Spinal Tap, where the band go onto stage and they're getting themselves hyped up, but they get lost backstage on their way up to perform. Same sort of thing happened just prior to going into the vocal booth for my takes. I ended up like hyping myself up, but walking down the wrong corridors, and ended up in like a big orchestral room, and the orchestra were playing and they all stopped to look. It was very awkward. But yeah, an amazing experience. The 2 engineers that we worked with were really on it and really affable and really clued in, even though it's, you know, the hardcore style of punk rock was not their favoured style of music. But we did it, and I was really pleased with the results as well. It was so strange. I was stuck in a vocal booth by myself, like segregated from the rest of the guys behind windows, and it was very peculiar because I'm used to being in the same room, so to speak, but to see the guys to be, you know, shut off, understandably so they could record have the vocal takes without any additional bleed coming through, was quite a new experience. But it was really cool. I managed to get my takes done straight away because we'd practiced prior to going down there, and we had badges and everything that said like Bastions Maida Vale, and that was really cool as well. And just being in that space that's been occupied by so many legendary bands was just an incredible thing to do as well. It was quite a big room really to be in. We didn't go upstairs to the upstairs bit, we were downstairs mainly, and then focusing on the live takes and whatnot. But what an experience, would 10 out of 10 would recommend, and would love to do it again. But I think those days have passed. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you quickly. I hope that you're doing alright wherever you are in the world. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.